Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next match of the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Tournament. Today we have a 4-on-4 match between MiRai and VixRyder. This is not C2R, despite the fact that the two of them are both very well accomplished C2R players. I am also here to bring you the action on this wonderful, wonderful tournament match. And with that, we're going to go ahead and release the runners to go. We'll see that come up in about a minute or so. So we got us two Z2R Titans going at it in Mario 3. There is no combat, there are no Daras, there are no Lizard Men, there is no Thunderbird. But there are Hammer Brother Harry through hammers. There are Fire Bros, which technically there are fire spitting enemies in Zelda 2, so it works out. There is no overworld tracking necessary. There are no spells. However, there are items. And we like items in here. Especially when the game decides to give you a whole bunch of garbage early. Both of our runners will be playing as Mario today. Both of them will be trying to rescue Princess Peach. No Toad. Nobody else. Here we go. We got a countdown started on MiRai's side, so we're going to be able to see when these two are getting started. I predict we're going to start in World 4 today. Here we go. Oh, it's World 5, and we have Blue Fort immediately. What is our first level? This is going to be the 5-3 beta. One of our two leftals. Except this one is the underwater leftal. And we get Cheep Cheeps up top. We get Valkyries. We get a pretty tight pass-through here. VixRyder is going to take the hit. MiRai is going to instead not take the hit, avoids the spiky, gets blooped, and we're going to have both of our runners coming out at about the same time. Watch out for Hammer Brother Harry who threw hammers. And there we go. But both forts are going to be required. Well, no, actually, one fort will not be required. Blue fort will not be required as we now enter everyone's favorite level, 7-7. This level, you need to have some good timing on your jumps. Because if you do not have good jump timing, you will not be able to make it to the end of this level properly with the stars. Gonna be like to skip star 1, going straight to the second one. MiRai misses the first jump, but does recover. And VixRyder is able to get the jumps to get the star out of that block without taking a hit. And MiRai does the same. They're about half a level apart, which is basically no time difference whatsoever. Both of them will run through 7-7. MiRai's got to watch out for the fanfare unless you want the fanfare. And we get Water Fort. I'm being told I need to slow down. So as we go through Water Forts, both of them just going to pass through. Now we get the Carpet Boos. Got to watch out for these guys. Going to take the lower path here. And I am being informed by chat that this could be a 3-fort World 5, in which case that blue fort could be required. However, we don't know if the pipe leads to Twisty Tower or not, as we have Boom Boom. Looks like a 5-hitter. Both runners are going to get through just fine. And there is our bridge to the pipe. And naturally, it is not Paradox Pipe. Twisty Tower is just going to lead to another spot in the sky. Twisty Tower blocks the path. And in fact, taking the pipe through Twisty Tower is going to save VixRyder a bunch of time here. And VixRyder will be our first runner going into an airship. A Nipper is going to take MiRai down, but MiRai is also going to take the pipe to Paradox Twisty Tower. And therefore, will also be going to the airship, making the difference not really all that big. Still certainly within a stone's throw here. VixRyder taking those jumps a little bit short, does do the long jump there at the end of the World 7 airship, and we get Roy Koopa. Is it Roy Stompanato? No, it is regular Roy. But is Roy our boy? Roy was a 4-hitter. And with that, VixRyder will take a Roy fight-sized lead. Certainly not enough to feel comfortable with. Ooh, avoids the single ring from the wand, as MiRai is going to get Roy down in just the same amount of time. And we get a hammer out of World 1. And now we go to World 6, where we immediately have 3 required levels. And the first one is going to be Sewers level. I forget what the actual level this is. I just know it is Sewers level. It is 5-2, I am being told. MiRai is also going to go ahead and go here up 2. And we are through. Again, about this half a level difference is going to remain for now. We'll see if, as we get, I believe this is 5-7, aka Donuts the level. You gotta be quick, but not too quick. Gets a good fire kill of the Fire Chomp, as MiRai is gonna be just behind. Fire killing the plant to keep the dreams alive, and there we go. Let's see if MiRai is able to pull off the same speed here in Donuts the level. So far, so good. These runners are 4-4 coming into this. So there is likely... Ooh, as we get Cheep Cheep Bridge, gotta keep that speed, otherwise the Cheep Cheeps will bite you. But VixRyder gets through with absolutely no problems, right as MiRai finishes up in 5-7. MiRai is not gonna go to the hand bridge, instead is going to go to the World 6 auto-scroller with the clouds. This is gonna slow MiRai down a little bit and does not get the item. Do be careful on these water levels. You cannot crouch jump if you are Big Mario, as you will start swimming. And it looks like we're going to see the hammer used on the pipe to pass past the fort. Oh, and it's a good pipe. And does that take us? It does. The hammer lets you skip the rest of World 6 into World 2 airship. We'll see if MiRai makes the same decision. That'll do a lot to catch MiRai back up. Especially with the slightly better hammer bro placement being up towards the pipe. See, MiRai is going to now see the fort. Has not seen any other pipes. Thinking about this as we get Morty Stompinato Koopa. And MiRai is going to use the hammer as Morton Stompinato Koopa goes down in 3 hits. VixRyder will retain the 1-level lead. In fact, I believe it has grown from half a level to a full level now. But a level is exactly that. And both runners, I think, use their hammers wisely to skip most of World 6 by being able to go in the pipe, not seeing much. Morton will now take 3 hits for MiRai as we get a forced level at the start of World 7 due to that lock, and it is 3-9. And we do not know if you would be able to skip these levels with a hammer. However, I still think using the hammer in World 6 was definitely the correct decision here. And I believe VixRyder is playing with shuffled music, going to be able to carry the block to get some more momentum. And with that, a hammer suit is the reward out of the airship, as MiRai is now going to go into 3-9. So, if this leads us down to that bottom segment, we know that, okay, nope, there are 2 forts, one of which is required by sheer virtue of it blocks the path, but there are no required locks in this seed. So World 7 should be pretty quick. However, you've got to get through this 2-1, I think this is. It's either 2-1 or 2-3. Gotta watch out for the Fire Chomp, too. Those things will take a bite out of you. By take a bite out of you, I mean throw fire at you. Gets it down, and is gonna go ahead and go into the pipe, and that will end the level here for VixRyder. MiRai's thinking about this a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do this level instead. It is 3-4, I think. It's either 3-4 or 3-1. I tend to get those two confused. But I'll watch out for the Bloopa. Going to go up and take the land route. 2-3. Although that might have been the last level. Small Mario sometimes is easier to control in the water levels. Fun fact. Gotta watch out for the currents, but does get through. It's past the jellyfish, past the Bloopa. As we see VixRyder now taking on Boom Boom. The seed was rolled by me, for those that are curious. As MiRai gets through the level, we see the fort go down for VixRyder, and now we're in the easier of the two plant stages. Oh, and MiRai takes a dip into the ragu. It's actually probably MiRai, and I'm just pronouncing it poorly. Gonna avoid taking the dip this time as we go through 3-4-1. And we get Airship 4. MiRai's gonna like to go through, takes the damage boost, and with that is going to now be in the Boom Boom fight. VixRyder electing to skip the power up there, may go for the one at the end of the level, and does, and it's a Fire Flower as we go into the Koopaling fight. And our Koopaling is going to be Iggy. Oh, but takes a hit. Not going to be able to get the fire kill now. As MiRai goes into the plant stage. And the one level difference is still going to remain in effect. Neither runner has really been able to get a significant advantage over the other so far. Just a couple of little routing decisions from MiRai have made this difference right now. Doesn't mean it's impossible, but it is going to be a little bit harder. MiRai's got to be careful here. Needs to keep the P speed all the way to the end of the level. And we're just going to see the pipe immediately here in World 2. And it's going to take us all the way basically to the end, but you need to find that fort. And the fort is back at the beginning, so only 2 levels, or only 1 level between you and the fort, and it is 5-4. Gotta watch out for Karibo's shoe. Because, funny enough, Karibo does wear shoes. Ooh, and the Koopa takes a hit away from Vix. I'm going to immediately go check out the pipe as we see a leaf here. And we get 2 fort in World 2. MiRai's going to go ahead and get this item. It is a star. No fort over there. Oh, this is interesting. MiRai's going to elect to do the 2 levels instead of the fort. This 2 fort is not required. And it looks like the level, the first one is going to be generic tanks. So the one of the military icons in World 8 will be a fake military icon. We get a Fire Bro here in tanks, however, it does have a leaf, which is quite nice. And now VixRyder is going to be able to go ahead and get this star, however, has to dodge the boomerangs. As we get one of the betas here, and you can immediately go into this pipe and just go through the level this way. It's actually significantly easier than trying to get into the pipe above, especially if this level spawns the boss bass. Lots of spinies. And speaking of, we get double the boss basses, double the fun here in what I believe is 4-3. At least the double boss basses usually will end up sinking on some level. And if you can avoid one, you can avoid both. Actually, both of them are relatively caught up with each other now. That death from VixRyder has brought this back to within half a level's difference. And with MiRai getting flight here, that's also going to help speed things up a bit. they're right back on top of each other, just about. We get the World 6 airship here in World 4. Gonna see a little bit of damage taken there from VixRyder on the jet. However, there is a power-up here, and it is a Fire Flower. MiRai's going to elect to go ahead and make his way through. And we get Lemmy Koopa. Lemmy Koopa known for having the circus balls, however, only a 2-hitter. And MiRai's going to elect to keep the leaf here, not taking the Fire Flower. May not be entirely certain, may not have been certain which Koopaling this was, because, you know, you wouldn't know that. However, that is Lemmy down for both runners, and now the runners are actually about a Koopaling fight apart again. The death in what I believe was 4-3 really helped to bring this back. So we see here we have, I believe this is the 7-3 beta level? Yeah, this is 7-3 beta. So both runners are going to be making their way towards the fort. The Starman over there, MiRai's going to elect not to pick that up. Instead is going to keep going here, gets the jump, gets the P-Speed, going to P-Speed through the level as we get the Navy as our next fort here in World 4. So what's going to happen to Bob here today, folks? Is Bob going to get kicked, or is Bob going to live? Bob is coming with us down to the Boom Boom fight. MiRai not far behind at all. Getting the P-Speed through the level, taking the Bob-Bomb into the Boom Boom fight as well. Now, a slightly faster Boom Boom fight for VixRyder. However, MiRai was able to get it down in 3 hits, which helps a lot as we enter 3-1 here for VixRyder. Oh, MiRai's going to go this way and is going to elect to go for... Oh, wait, no, they're both going for the pipe. I apologize, folks. 2 screens to watch. Sometimes I will miss small things like that. But so both of them are going to elect to go to the pipe as it is less levels overall. We're going to see MiRai skip the power-up there. Falling down to avoid Big Bertha. And we have Leap of Faith, the level, with a fire set. So you can avoid some of the Leaps of Faith by riding the donuts, as Mario can still stand on donuts even when they're falling. Both runners want to get on the same level. MiRai gets a leaf. Going to be able to avoid some of it. Ooh. Takes a little bit of a slip, but thankfully is able to recover thanks to the power of the leaf. As we're now going to see the other. Ooh, and MiRai's going to do a nice little sneak to save some time here as we go into the World 5 airship. Actually, is this World 5? Yeah, this is World 5, because you can tell by the cannonball run. MiRai's not going to be far behind. And we have Ludwig, who's a one-hitter, but I think that was a Ludwig Stompanato amongst us. MiRai does get the jump, gets the P-Speed, going to be able to fly over that part of the level, and will once again be within about a Koopaling fight. So we get a cute suit and 3-Fort World 1 with a guarantee that 2 forts are required. As we get Ragu Fort, aka 5F2. And you're going to lose the Fire Flower, but we'll gain it back. Both runners really making good time here. And here we go into the Boom Boom fight. Once again, a quick Boom Boom fight for VixRyder. MiRai is going to elect to keep the leaf. And these are going to add up. These quicker boom boom fights for VixRyder are going to add up over time, but now we get the clip of 7-1. This could change the race right here, folks. Oh, but VixRyder gets the clip pretty quickly. He's going to end 7-1 with a 280. We'll see if MiRai is able... We'll see if MiRai is able to get the clip just as quickly, if not quicker. As we go into the Air Force. MiRai having a little bit more difficulty with this clip. There it is. MiRai gets it. Takes a little bit longer. What's the difference between the two runners? At about a full level now. But still, this could easily come down to World 8 routing. That is another faster boom boom, which is important. As we see Hammer Brother Henry here through hammers. Gonna go down more quickly thanks to that Fire Flower. Does get a star. MiRai's about to get through the Air Force as we get World 1 airship in World 1. Who would have thought? Doesn't need to stop for the power-up, just needs to go to the end of the level. Oh, and this is a 4-hit boom boom as we get Wendy Koopa. Wendy goes down. It's a one-hitter. That is actually really good news for MiRai, that Wendy is a one-hitter. Because a 5-hit Wendy could have been really bad with that fire flower, without a Fire Flower. As we enter World 3 as our last world with the immediate pipe. I doubt this takes us to Japan. Alright, we save one level thanks to the pipe. And we get 7-8. MiRai does take the hit from Wendy, but does get Wendy down. But 7-8 is a brutal level. Thankfully, the Fire Flower is going to help a lot by getting rid of some of these annoying plants. We are going to see pipe strats. Oh, it's daylight pipes. Nice. And here we go. MiRai is going to also take the pipe. I don't think we've seen any clouds yet. MiRai is now in 7-8. VixRyder is heading into what I believe is 6-8. Ooh, loses the Fire Flower. Not going to take the platform, just going to jump it. Gets the P-switch. And with that, we'll have a nice, smooth ride through the rest of the level. Gotta watch out for the twisty bars that you don't get knocked over the edge. And a tight jump for MiRai, but does get through. And is now going to be able to go into the pipe if he so desires. And slides right on into the pipe. This is a 2-fort World 3. You see one lock there. And a bridge needs to be built to the pipe to get to Japan. So with a pipe bridge needed. Oh, VixRyder has fallen into the water here. We'll see if VixRyder is able to stay above water or able to stay afloat. Is able to do so. And VixRyder will be moving on to the next level. MiRai is also going to skip the platform, instead just going to make the jump. And should have a nice, smooth ride through the rest of the 6-8, I believe this is. As we now get 2-1. This is the actual 2-1, I think. VixRyder going to grab the power-up. Oh, but the Valkyrie says no power-up for you. Try again from the start. Watch out for the fire. Multiple Valkyries coming in all at once. There's a fire chomp. MiRai going through the treasure ship. Let's see what kind of items are located in here. It's going to be Boomerang, Barry, and Fire Fred. But the answer is going to be a hammer. That is actually huge because VixRyder has not gone to do that airship. MiRai now knows you've got to take that pipe that's on the bridge to Japan, but you have to be able to get there. We know that the fort on the other side does not block anything, so that could be one fort. And you could gamble on going into one fort to try and pick up an item. However, it's unlikely that we're going to see either runner do that, as we get Fort Knox. And when there's 7F1, there's often 7F2 paired with it, so our non-required fort here may be 7F2. Does not have to be 7F2, though. It could be any other fort. It's just the two of them generally like to pair together. For whatever reason. And I don't think I would take the time to go and check that. Thankfully, the... One second here, folks. Sorry about that. Had to answer something real quick. So right now, VixRyder appears to be ahead by now a couple of levels. As VixRyder is going into the airship, but MiRai still has to do, I believe, another level after this and Fort Knox. As we get down Larry Koopa in World 7. VixRyder is going to World 8. Oh, and the Paragoomba gets MiRai. MiRai's going to go ahead and pop a leaf. Remember, MiRai does have an extra hammer. So if we have a situation where there's a lock blocking the access, MiRai's extra hammer could very much come into play as we get 1-6 here for VixRyder. Not its terrible beta version, the original version. So MiRai's got to go through Fort Knox, then the airship, and is then going to be in World 8. Thankfully, you do not have to press the P switch in order to get a leaf. There is one in this box. Oh, but MiRai takes a death. Might just come in with a leaf anyway. Yep, just going to go in with a leaf anyway. It's going to cost a little bit of time, but honestly, not that much. As we get Door Fort here for VixRyder at one of the military icons. I believe it was Super Tanks. We're going to take a hit from the Hot Foot. Remember that you will need... what's it called? You are going to need to take the 6th door in Door Fort, as both of them kill Boom Booms at the same time, but in different forts. And here we go. VixRyder is going to see 2 forts and a pipe. And what do we have here? Okay, so that just takes you to the Air Force icon, which is 4F1, aka Troll Fort. And MiRai will take Larry down with 1 hit. MiRai is now on his way. Remember, we have not seen a whole lot of the obstacles. We've just seen where the forts are. So we don't know what obstacles block the way to Bowser. And another hammer suit. MiRai's going to go ahead and elect to just do the level. Does not have a cloud. The reason it's called Troll Fort is that a lot of times the enemies that spawn there are just objectively terrible. And it looks like you are going to have to do these 2 forts, so the hammer might not get a whole lot of use here, as you're likely going to be through all of the forts that would block the obstacles by the time you get to the bridge to Bowser. And that's kind of important here that... Oh, MiRai's immediately going to go for Door Fort. Not even going to check the pipe, just going straight into Door Fort. And here is the level. We knew that one of the military icons here, or fort here, was going to be a level. So here we go. Level 1-5. As MiRai finishes up. Door Fort. Now going to take the bite. Question is, will MiRai elect to do the Air Force icon, or will MiRai skip it? As VixRyder gets through 1-5, MiRai's going to do the Air Force icon. This means that extra hammer may end up not being used. Oh boy, there is a lock. This is where MiRai is going to be able to catch up. MiRai has the hammer to get through. We'll just need to do one level. Whereas VixRyder's got to make his way over to... what's it called? VixRyder's got to make his way over to the other icon. Ooh, and VixRyder does take an extra hit, but is through. VixRyder will be able to get through the fort here. This could result in our two runners getting into Bowser's Castle at about the same time. MiRai's got the Fire Flower. That is massive here. Going to elect to take the hit to speed up getting through this fort, as we have Donut Fort as the last fort here that will be necessary to get into the Valley of Bowser. VixRyder unable to get through Donut Fort's gauntlet without taking a hit here. And MiRai is through Boom Boom. We're still looking at maybe a level's worth of difference here, as MiRai is going to have to go through this 1-5. Thankfully, 1-5 is a pretty quick level. And then both will be doing our last level before the Valley of Bowser. But MiRai will not have to do the extra 2 levels, which is very important. And the anchor is a cute suit. As we get 6-6 as the final level before Bowser's Castle. And this is going to put MiRai within half a level. A single death here in 6-6 could make a huge difference in this race right now. MiRai's thinking about this Fire Flower. Does get it. And is going to keep the Fire Flower. And VixRyder takes a death in 6-6. MiRai takes a very small but potentially extremely important lead. However, MiRai takes a hit from the Bloopa. But there is another Fire Flower. Oh, but slides into the Bloopa. And now the Bloopa on the lower side also will take the tax. MiRai's going to wait for the Cheep Cheep to jump. Got to get through here. Cannot run into this Piranha Plant. Oh, the Piranha Plant spawns, and now it is VixRyder back in the lead with the Fire Flower. MiRai's going to go in with both a star and a Fire Flower. Oh, and Vix loses the Fire Flower right before the last little bit, but thankfully no flying enemies. Just has to get through this last part. Watch out for the Stomper Goomba. And VixRyder will be our first runner going into Bowser's Castle with MiRai not far behind. A single mistake here in Bowser can end this race for either runner. We do have hammer suits. Here we go. Bowser's Castle for VixRyder, going in with a hammer suit and a star. However, the Fire Flower is kept for MiRai. Oh, and the first clip is done by VixRyder. Gonna skip the waffle stairs. Ooh, gotta be careful though. Cannot lose the hammer there. And with that, VixRyder will now be making their way up here. They're gonna go for the mac and cheese clip. Nope, just gonna take the top path. As MiRai is heading in, however, VixRyder is looking like He's going to keep his hammer suit. And Hammer Kill Bowser is incredibly quick. MiRai is going to take the Waffle Stairs of Doom. And there we go. Bowser will go down, and it will be VixRyder who takes the first game of our 2-game series, but man, is it close. About a half a level, maybe a level difference at most. Both runners took deaths in 6-6. Both runners had relatively similar things happen. There's not really any one thing that you can point to as where the time was, besides maybe just a little bit of time that MiRai spent in World 5 trying that level once before going the Twisty Tower route. That's probably the only thing I can point to that's a difference between these two runners. And even then, like, with how tight this race was, race 2 is going to be, honestly, I'm expecting just as tight, and I'm expecting both of these runners are going to take a win here, and we're going to see a 5-5 split for these two. So we are getting game 2 set up here, folks, but man, that was really tight, and I like it. Alright, folks, it looks like both runners are ready to go. We are returned from the intermission. So, VixRyder took game 1 by about half of Bowser's Castle. And now, we are about to release the runners for game 2. So, I will ask the chat, where do you think we are starting? And I am already being told, do not do math. It took all of a few minutes to be told don't do math. See, World 6, World 4, World Q. I don't think World Q is a world that we can go to start. Unless that means World 0 /, in which case that also isn't a world. And World 2, World 3. Okay, so we've seen suggestions of 2, 3, 4, 6, and 1. All of those have some amount of common multiples. Therefore, I'm going to say World 7 because it doesn't have a common multiple of any of that except 1. But that's because 1 is a multiple of everything, including itself. It's kind of hard to do also math in a game like this, where it is much more linear. Here we go. We're starting in World 4 with a single pipe setup. And it looks like we will be able to immediately head over. Now, MiRai is going to go ahead and elect to pick up the item here, and it is a star that will be useful later, as VixRyder is going to go for the jump and misses it. Now we're going to see both runners in Ice Fort. We'll see if VixRyder elects to go back for the item later or not. MiRai is going to go for the flight. MiRai is going to take flight. Does not keep the P-speed, though. Is not going to be able to fly under this portion of the fort, which, honestly, I don't even think you can fly under that anyway. VixRyder's got to be a little careful. Thankfully, does have Boom Boom in a corner and will be able to get through. MiRai going to be following soon behind. Going to be able to keep Boom Boom stuck here. Both will be able to use the corner well, and we're going to see VixRyder go back for the Hammer Brother Henry through hammers. And now we're going to see MiRai is going to elect to do an extra level. It is 5-9. Might now be going back for the pipe saying, wait, why am I doing this level? Oh, MiRai's going to continue going for the levels, does not see the pipe. And we're going to see our first difference start to show up between the runners as VixRyder heads directly to the airship, while MiRai is going to do the extra level, but might be looking for the item house. Might be looking to get an item at the item house that is nearby, but will not be doing 5-9 to get there. And we get Iggy Koopa as our first Koopaling. It is not Iggy Stompanato. And this will put about a level's worth of difference between the runners right out the gate. And no item house for MiRai, just going straight for the airship. Might not have seen the pipes. We'll see what this level difference turns into as we get a frog suit, and we immediately have a required level here in World 7. It is going to be 1-4. So MiRai goes ahead and takes care of Iggy. Oh, but VixRyder takes a death! VixRyder takes a death off of what I believe was an eaten input. And with that, that's going to cut the lead back down to about half of a level. And that could be very important here. Card here for VixRyder. Yeah, it's about a half a level difference. MiRai is going to get through 1-4. Nearly misses that jump, but does make it at the very end. Fire Snake is no threat, and in you go. And lots of pipes here. Those two pipes don't lead to anywhere, though. And you do have to do at least 1 fort. VixRyder is going to elect to go ahead and do this fort up here, hoping that it is the correct fort. Which you have to do a level no matter what, so it kind of makes sense to go ahead and just do this fort. And hope that it's the correct one. Like, there's no real reason not to do it. There would only be a reason not to do it if you didn't have to do a level to get down there, but because you have to do a level anyway. As we go into 5-7, the land of donuts. Call it Krispy Kreme, call it Dunkin', call it whatever donut shop you like. Oh, and the Fire Flower is lost but regained in the block. Watch out for the Fire Snake. And VixRyder is through. And looks like 3-Fort-1 was the correct fort to break the lock. So this one will break the lock at the entrance. It is Ragu Fort. Also known as 5-Fort-2. MiRai's going to take this a little bit more carefully, given that there is no Fire Flower to be had, combined with you really don't want to die on this level. Fire Flower obtained, does a crouch jump over the Fire Snake, and is through, keeping the difference to about a level. As we go into the plant stage here for Vix, it is the harder of the two plant stages. At least to me, this is the harder of the two plants. Oh, gonna lose the power-up as the fireball is not there in time to take out the piranha plant. MiRai is gonna get into the fight with Boom Boom, with the Fire Flower, as there is a hammer in the plant stage. And we're off to the airship for Vix. This is the airship 2. We're going to see a Fire Flower. We're going to see MiRai try his hand here. MiRai is going to take this a little bit more carefully. Oh, but gets through, keeps the Fire Flower. Very, very nice. As it is Lemmy in airship 2. VixRyder did take a hit. We'll see if MiRai is able to get there and keep the Fire Flower going. Small little things like that are going to make a difference here, folks. Right, not going to be able to get that super high jump. I don't even think you can make that. You're going to have to go under. Does keep the Fire Flower. Let's see what we get here as it's World 1 with a single required fort that builds a bridge. It is a 2-hit Lemmy. However, both runners get through it with the same amount of speed. We have another boss bass here, and the Cheep Cheeps take a bite out of Mario on VixRyder's side. Toad apparently can see dead Koopas everywhere. It's a little concerning. So 3 levels and a fort here in World 1, not too bad, especially when one of them is 3-4. We'll see if MiRai is able to keep the Fire Flower through this level. Looks like MiRai will be able to, and will have a Fire Flower going into the water level, which is important. VixRyder takes a hit, now down to Small Mario. However, as I've mentioned before, sometimes it is advantageous to be Small Mario in a water level, as oftentimes the water levels are easier as Small Mario than they are as Big Mario, based on how the obstacles are placed. Good Fire Flower there. Used there from MiRai. Gonna pick up a little bit of speed here in the level. Takes a small speed loss, but does not lose the Fire Flower. As we get Angry Sun 1-2 here for Vix. And MiRai is gonna, just at the very end, takes a hit from the Bloopa, but is gonna get through the level as we have Vix looking like he's gonna complete Angry Sun 1-2. Does lose the power-up at the very end. And we're right back to a dead-even race here, pretty much. Again, it's really just the one extra level that MiRai did. As we get the Navy as our World 1 fort. This will open the bridge. It kind of makes sense that you'd have to go through the Navy to get a bridge open, because they both allow you to cross water. MiRai also taking the hit, and it is a one-hit boom boom at the end of the Navy. Neither runner gets a fanfare here. In fact, MiRai was up a level, so gets an extra life early. As we get Fire Bro here on VixRyder's side. Gonna pick up a star for his efforts. And Bob the Bomb Bomb will be going down into the Boom Boom fight, and Boom Boom is no more. As we get Airship 7 in World 3, which is World 1. And we're going to see the star usage here from MiRai. That is going to give MiRai just a little bit of time back, and these small incremental amounts will matter. Here we go. Got to make sure you do the long jump here at the end of World 7. It is more consistent than trying to jump on the screws twice. Starman here will allow you to just cruise through, as we have Wendy Koopa. This is definitely a Koopaling that you want to fire kill if you can. VixRyder is able to get the fire kill. We'll see if MiRai is also able to do so. Thankfully, this is a reasonably good stage to get a fire kill of Wendy on. Gonna go for the long jump. Gets the long jump, and MiRai is into the Wendy fight. We are now, once again, about a Koopaling fight apart. And fire kill on Wendy for MiRai. And that pipe is going to be required, as it's going to lead us to a bridge. But we could have the trolliest of Troll 5s, where you have to go through the pipe to get to Blue Fort to be able to open a key that takes you to the end. Remember, there has a hammer. A hammer has been found, so you might be able to avoid doing that. So that's the question here, folks. Do you use the hammer? I think you do. If you need a hammer to get through this. Oh, and MiRai is going to take a death to the Cheep Cheep here in 7-9. However, VixRyder is also going to get bit by the Cheep Cheep. We might see MiRai cloud this level. He's thinking about it. He's not going to cloud the level. He is going to go into leaf form. Oh, MiRai's going to elect to skip the first part of the maze by just flying over it. As we do get some pipes here at the top. And it looks like we're going to see a hammer used here to avoid having to do the fort into the blue fort. Because there's no way you would skip all of this if you didn't have a hammer. You would absolutely be doing the fort into blue fort. But instead, we are going to see the hammer used here to skip blue fort, skips a whole bunch of levels, 2 forts, and we get into Airship 5. I would expect we'll see the same out of MiRai. MiRai's thinking about this. MiRai is going to elect to do the level. Definitely saw the pipes. Not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure why we're doing this level. And that is a death in 8-2 for MiRai. Hopefully we'll see the pipe used here. Nope. Gonna go for the... Oh, gonna cloud over the level to go into the pipe from this side to set the respawn spot. As we see World 6 with immediate 3 required levels, one of which is going to be our old friend Atlantis. And I think we're going to see Atlantis clouded. We are going to see Atlantis clouded here, folks. Oh, and we're going to see a cute suit as we get the beta level. Atlantis has been clouded over. And here we go, MiRai going into the Morton fight as a VixRyder now a solid couple of levels ahead. As we go into the 5-3 beta, one of our 2 leftals. And this one will be the water leftal. And here we go. MiRai is going to also cloud over Atlantis, but VixRyder will now have an additional cloud to work with. Oh, and MiRai is not going to go into the first pipe, is going to go all the way to the right here just to see that you need to take a pipe. Oh, MiRai's going to go into this pipe instead, and another cloud has been found. That gives Vix 2 clouds to work with. We see one of our forts is not going to be required here, as it only blocks a mushroom house. Fanfare for MiRai as we get a music box. Looks like MiRai is going to take the top level, as VixRyder is going to go to 7F2. So here's the interesting thing about VixRyder's play. There are always 2 sets of pipes in World 6. So it's kind of interesting that VixRyder elected to go for just straight to 7F2 unless I missed a pipe. MiRai's going to go for the item. What is the item here? It is another cloud. That is huge for MiRai. That puts MiRai back up to the same cloud parity as VixRyder. As VixRyder gets through 7F2. And with the Fire Bro taken out, Sumo Bro goes down. So it's kind of interesting. I don't recall seeing VixRyder try either of these pipes. And we know that there's one more pipe available in this world. We just don't know where it is because I don't think we've seen all 4. So I would expect that we see at least one of the pipes tried. No, neither runner was going to go into the pipes. Did I miss the 4th pipe? Did I miss the 4th? All 4 on the first screen. Okay, I did miss the 4th pipe. I apologize, folks. I thought we still had a pipe missing. Mirai's fireball is just going to be a little bit too slow to get there. Mirai's going to go for the jump here. Now needs to get around the fireballs. Does so. Easy leaf. And with that, MiRai is going to be on his way. Through 7F2. Easy jump down. And, well, you got to do the fort no matter what. Gonna cloud the fort. VixRyder saying, no thanks, I don't want to do that fort. So MiRai is now heading into 3-6. As we get Larry Stompanato Koopa. We all know Larry. Famous from such movies as... Famous from such things as Leisure Suit Larry. No, that's a different Larry. Anyway. Alright, we'll get through 3-6 as VixRyder will get through World 6. And with that, we get a star, and we go to World 3. Minimum 2 levels are required. Looks like we're going to start with 2-4. We'll lose the Fire Flower early on. We get Fire Fred and Sumo Kyle. We're going to see a Starman here as we go past Boomerang Berry. And last but not least, another Boomerang Berry, not a Hammer Brother Harry who threw hammers. Mirai's thinking about clouding this. Mirai's got 2 clouds. Going to elect to save the cloud. It is Fort Knox. As has been mentioned, 7F1 and 7F2 like to show up together. So VixRyder elected to skip Fort Knox. As there is a leaf in the upper box. This is good for Mirai. And we will see 1 extra cloud on Mirai's side that could be very useful in an upcoming world. We'll see how long Boom Boom is. VixRyder immediately going to go for the fort. Seeing 2 forts, knows that there's a pretty good chance that the airship is going to be locked. Especially given that we have not seen any of the blocks yet. It's very reasonable to expect one of them is going to be in front of the door to get into the airship. As Mirai goes on ahead and fights Larry Stompanato. Oh, wait, no, never mind. We saw 1 lock. Now we're going to the other lock, which is in Donut Fort. Fall flat into the deep ravine as we see Boom Boom go down here for VixRyder in the fort. And that should open the path to Japan. And Mirai is just going to immediately start clouding. Mirai is going to cloud both levels here in World 3 to start off with. This could be where Mirai makes the time back up. Still needs to get through both forts. But clouding both of those levels could end up being very important. VixRyder finishes off World 6. Mirai is going to see the lock that is guarding Japan here. No, there is no lock. Mirai is not going to have to do the second fort. MiRai gains more time back, is able to just go straight into the airship. Oh, but VixRyder clouds straight into the airship here in World 2. MiRai will have to do this additional level. But MiRai saved so much time here in World 6, it probably will end up okay, especially if we have a hand bridge level. We haven't seen those yet. It's going to be Roy here at the end. How many hits is Roy? At least 3. Probably 3. But we don't know for certain. And with that, VixRyder will be going into World 8. Please get your bets in chat as to how many levels how many obstacles we're going to have. I see one suggestion of 2. Oh, and it's this level. Thankfully, there is no boss bass. Very important. And we start with 8-1! We start with 8-1, and MiRai misses getting the fire with the thing, therefore is going to have to go through. Thankfully, does manage to dodge around the fire chomp as we have 8-1 here for VixRyder getting through. Oh, the fire chomp takes a chomp out of Mario. I almost said Luigi. Oh, and the hitbox is saying, nope, you're taking a hit there. That was entirely hitbox shenanigans that happened to VixRyder. But Vix is through World 8-1. As MiRai is now going into the airship. Gonna stop to get the treasure ship item. We'll see what this is. It could be huge. Because VixRyder just went straight in. So what have we here in the treasure ship? It is only a star! It is only a star! And now we got to start doing more levels here in World 8. We get the Cloud Auto-Scroller. MiRai is going to use the P-Speed to get through Oil Can Airship, get the power-up at the very end, which is only a leaf. However, this Koopaling was not difficult. It's only Roy, and I believe it was a 3-hitter. It is not a Stompin' Auto. All the Stompin' Autos have been seen. It is, in fact, a 3-hitter. And VixRyder is through the level. Here we go. We have another fort. It is Water Fort. And World 8 here for MiRai, starting with 8-1. Looks like we are not going to see the pipe. Oh, and loses the leaf. Now MiRai's just going to have to do the level. Does not get hitbox shenanigan. Gets through 8-1, slightly faster than VixRyder. And here's the thing. We don't know what fort is going to open that lock in front of that pipe. So depending upon how MiRai wants to handle this, we also don't know where that pipe leads. Okay, so that pipe leads to there, so you got to go through this way, so you save the level no matter what. Boom Boom goes down in one hit here in this. And now MiRai is in the auto-scroller, and that opened up a lock up there, but there is a pipe. Where does this pipe lead? This pipe is going to take us back into the dark maze. As we now take this pipe over here. That's going to lead us to the valley, but we have one more lock to get through. 2 fort may be the answer, but will it be? Or are we going to see we need to do more levels? As MiRai is now through the Cloud Ice Auto-Scroller. MiRai should take that pipe, because that pipe does lead to the valley. See, MiRai's thinking about it. Is going to like to go ahead and go for the door fort. This is not a bad idea. In general, forts in World 8 are not terrible ideas to do if you don't have hammers. However, MiRai took a lot of damage coming in here. Is going to go ahead and get the Starman. Going to go for probably the star kill on Boom Boom. See if MiRai's fast enough, though. 2 fort was not the answer. Now we're going to see the tanks, which is a level. Not the answer. So the question is, what fort remains? Because we know it's not... Oh, it's that one over there, which is blocked by the pipe at the beginning of the world. Man, you got to go all the way back to the beginning, do this level to get to the answer. And oh, by the way, it's everyone's favorite 7-7 with an Oh, and it's 7-7 with an angry sound. Oh, and VixRyder takes a death to the fireball. Gonna go ahead and like to come in with a Starman out the gate. Boom Boom goes down in Water Fort here for MiRai. MiRai's gonna see the lock, is gonna go ahead and fight 2 fort. VixRyder is through 7-7. Now knows you got to go this way to get to your last fort, which will be the answer. And it is Gatekeeper is going to gatekeep. Oh, and MiRai does touch the jump a little short and ends up taking a hit on the spikes. MiRai's going to come into this 2 fort with a frog suit. Does not know if 2 fort is the answer or not. There we go. Going for the P-speed. Slides under the Boo Buddy. Runs through the Hot Foot. Not even going to check the power-up. Just going to go straight to Boom Boom. Oh, and MiRai gets caught on the corner again. This time, having the power-up, is able to survive taking the hit. MiRai is now in the 2 fort Boom Boom. This is not the answer. VixRyder knows the answer, has a path, just has to go through pretty much every pipe in the world. Oh, MiRai's not going to go to Super Tanks, is instead going to go back and look for the path. However, VixRyder already has it down and is already on his way into Bowser's castle. But I don't recall seeing a hammer suit. So this could be a long Bowser fight, folks. No clip there. Gotta get through Nuclear Waffle Staircase. Right, gonna go for this. Ooh, gets it a little short. Might not have enough time. Oh, MiRai just has enough time. Gets it. VixRyder picks up the Fire Flower. Gonna go for the top route. Gets the mac and cheese clip first try. And is gonna go straight to Bowser. Here we go, Bowser fight. Gonna have to jump off of the door to get Bowser to move to a specific location. But thankfully can just go for it. Pounding away with the fireballs. Doesn't even need to worry about the main way. And there we go. Get your GGs in chat for VixRyder, who will improve to a 6. And for a record, at the conclusion of this series, MiRai will go to 4 and 6. MiRai working their way through Gatekeeper Fort. See what the power-up is. It is just a mushroom. And MiRai has forfeited out of Game 2. Saying enough is enough. To quote in the race room, impossible game. So really nothing particularly trolly in either seed. It was just the route. It was honestly just pipe routing. And we do want to welcome on into the booth VixRyder, GG's, and congratulations on the 2 wins.
Yo, GG's. Thank you very much.
I believe we'll be joined by MiRai momentarily. And GG's.
Thanks.
GG,
GG,
MiRai.
Vix.
GG's.
So the main difference in both seeds was really pipe and level routing. In both cases, Vix, you were able to pull just a little bit ahead by just using a couple of extra pipes, and that ended up being enough in Seed 1 to keep about a 1-level lead the whole way through.
Okay, that makes sense. I was curious,
Then-
like, with the routing of, in World 2 in the first seed of going for the fort, it was play 3 levels either way. It's either go back through the pipe and play the fort, or play 3 levels and go down, and so I wasn't sure how that one was going to play out in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember anything from the first seed, so I not a clue.
Something pipes.
Yeah.
And then the second seed, MiRai, you had done just a couple of extra levels.
Yep.
And that ended up being the difference in Seed 2, because both of you guys were playing really well. And there really wasn't a whole lot that could have separated the two of you besides just pipe and level routing.
Yeah, fair enough. I figured this was going to be a close one tonight.
It was.
So,
See, I didn't because I've not played a lot of this game, so
you've been playing a lot more of it than I have in the last, 6 weeks, so...
You're still undefeated against me in tournament races, Vix.
Is that including Z2R?
It's including Z2R.
I got him once in Z2, so...
So, for those that don't know, we were discussing in the race room replacing all boss passes with Dara's. And talking about how much better that would be for everybody involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah, boss Katraz might be kind of annoying, but it's also Dara Katraz, so...
As long as we have downstab for it, I'm okay with it.
Alright, we've replaced the hammer suit with downstab suit.
Works for me.
But then could you jackhammer Bowser?
These games are getting weird.
Yeah, we kind of got off topic on that one.
Yep. So Vex, you'll move up to 6 and 4. MiRai, you will go to 4 and 6. Given that it is the top 32 that are going into the main bracket, I don't actually know what that does for either.
I'm
Guess
pretty
we'll
sure.
just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, people are talking about 5 wins is probably likely in 4-6. Some people are trying to convince me that I was going to be in brackets, and I'm like, nah, I think Challenge Cup life is for us here. So we'll see.
Yep, and Vex going to 6 and 4, you're probably in brackets. I would have, at least that would make reasonable sense.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see where the cards fall and all that. I honestly felt like I haven't played too poorly at all this tournament, because in some of these tournaments in the past, I make way too many mistakes. This tournament, I feel like I'm playing fairly well. It just, the couple races I lost were by less than a minute, so I feel like I'm in okay shape going into whichever happens next, either brackets or Challenge Cup.
The one thing I do want to say, MiRai, is I appreciated you saying, you know what, I'm just not going to do the start of World 3. I'm just going to cloud over the whole thing and then just go pipe jumping.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I just threw away, like I did whatever that pipe scaffolding level was, and I was like, we can cloud over this. I'm like, wait, we might have to come back down here for the stupid blue fort that's on the other side, because there's no pipe to the other side of the ground in sky. And so I played the level, and then afterwards I'm thinking, well, I'm kind of dumb because I have a hammer, so it doesn't really matter what happens there. But then I clouded 8-2, and then I had a cloud left over for Atlantis. So I wouldn't have had that cloud for Atlantis, but I don't know.
You did pick up an extra cloud for what it's worth, doing one of the extra Hammer Bros.
Yeah, I think I had 3 total in that second seed, so...
I wish I had clouded 7F1. That felt kind of dumb to play that. I was just like, man, should I play this? Should I not? This could be like 1F because there's this dumb lock here. And of course, it's 7F1. And
was that the fort in 6?
it was the last fort in 6, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I did cloud over that one.
7F1 and 7F2 do tend to show up in pairs, which is always fun.
Yeah.
So they say.
And naturally, 7F2 is just always garbage.
That one actually
Doesn't matter
wasn't too
what
bad
tools.
tonight, if I'm being honest with you. There was significantly less fire plants than what I normally see.
Yeah, it's not as many fire piranhas in that one. At least not at first. Near the end, there were a few, but they're easier near the end.
Yep. All right. Well, any final thoughts on the seed, the Swiss rounds, and whatnot before we go ahead and send everyone off to go watch the races?
Just thank you guys for getting this all set up in the background and all the work that goes on to get this all up and running. Also, thank you very much for the comms. Appreciate it as well.
Yeah, I'm going to echo that. There's about 32 races going on tonight, so a lot of logistics happening behind the scenes. And I think practically every race has been restreamed, so this is just Swiss. And things get even more complicated. For everyone doing the restream and everything, thank you, but it's getting even... We're going to best of 3s after this, so... man, hopefully no one gets too much burnout here. So, yeah. GG's to Vix and GG's to the crew behind the scenes, and yeah, let's hope for the Challenge Cup, the double C.
Double C, 2cc, although a 2cc engine is very small.
Indeed.
And I do want to say thank you to the both of you for giving us 2 incredibly close, incredibly exciting races to watch.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, is that we put on a show.
And with that, I think that is going to do us here. We also want to give a thank you to the SpeedGaming family of channels for hosting us here. And if I pull up the schedule, let's take a look at what we have going. So we've got Pickles in Beer versus Midi Guy going over on SpeedGaming 4. That started at 8. We've got J. Coper versus Wins Fox over on SMB3 Rando. That started at 8. At 9, we've got Tozzle versus Ryko on SpeedGaming 2. Also at 9, we've got John Dat, Flindo versus Yumi. And then, last but not least, at 10, we have William in Texas versus Neonodane. That one does not have a channel listed yet, but I'm certain that there will be a channel for that. But with that, I again would like to thank everybody who came out and supported both of our runners and SpeedGaming family channels for hosting us. I've been Alsoa, and I wish you all a wonderful night, and please go check out the other races, because they're all going to be hopefully just as exciting as these were.